Hi, I'm Connie Whitman, your host, and you're listening to Enlightenment of Change on webtalkradio.net. You know I love that you tune in every week. So my motivational quote today is by Bobby Fischer, and he says, "Nothing is so healing as the human touch." Now, did you know that you hold the power to heal yourself right at your fingertips? Your hands can act almost as a jumper cable to help restore and harmonize blocked, stagnant energy that may be at the root cause of such common and complex ailments as backache, anxiety, colds and flu, digestive issues, immune disorders, migraines, insomnia, which I have, and so much more. So are you intrigued? I know I am, and I'm really excited to have my guest on today. So relax your fingers and settle in as my guest Alexis Brink and I discuss her new book called The Art of Jin Shin. I said that right? The Japanese Practice of Healing with Your Fingertips. Now, Alexis is one of the world's foremost authorities on the subject of Jin Shin Jyutsu and the head of the Jin Shin Institute in New York City. And Alexis is going to share the power of this holistic treatment as we discuss her book today. Now, Alexis is a practitioner of the Art of Jin Shin since 1991 and is a licensed massage therapist and interfaith minister. She's taught self-help classes and workshops in New York City as well as in different countries for many years. Now, today, Jin Shin Institute, under Alexis' guidance, is offering a comprehensive curriculum to a new generation of practitioners and teachers. So please help me welcome my wonderful guest, Alexis Brink, to the show. So Alexis, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you, Connie. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, it's interesting. I do want to show, because I have the book, guys. Here it is. Can you see that okay, Alexis?
Yeah, it's a little bright.
It's a little bright. Okay, let me go back a little bit.
Okay.
But it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, the cover, really, the artist, whoever did this, it's just very relaxing and a lovely cover. So I wanted to show that real quick. All right, so I think before we even begin, we have to talk about what is Jin Shin so people understand it.
Jin Shin is an energy healing modality. I like to call it energy medicine because in the East it is used as medicine, while in the West we are just starting to use this kind of movement of energy and applying to our bodies. But it's similar to acupuncture, but instead of needles we use our hands, and that is what makes it so accessible as a way to help yourself.
You know, it's interesting because I've had acupuncture. I love all of these different modalities. I find it fascinating, but I think that you have to find what's right for you, right? So just like anything else. So I did try acupuncture. I had surgery many years ago and nothing serious. But afterwards, I'm like, I'm going to go acupuncture and heal faster because I have things to do. Well, when I laid down and she started putting the pins in me and then you can't move, I have very high energy, Alexa. And I said to her, she's like, okay, sit there for like 45 minutes. I said, when are you coming back? She goes, 45 minutes. I'm like, oh, no. What if I have an itchy nose? No. Like I started panicking. She's all right, I'll come back in 10 minutes. And after that, it didn't work for me. Now I have a brother-in-law who had bad shoulder, loved acupuncture. So this I like better, the Jin Shin, because you don't have to use fingers, you don't have to use the needles. So that's my acupuncture story. Now,
right.
Yeah.
The Jin Shin is very comfortable. It's a very, very amazing, deeply relaxing treatment. Mm-hmm. The way it works similarly because you work with the energy flow in the body. And when there's a problem in the body, it means that there's congested energy. So both acupuncture or acupressure, mm-hmm. you get the energy to move in the body. So that is what we want to accomplish.
How the heck did you get introduced to the Jin Shin? Where did that come from for you?
Well, I was a dancer, and at 18, I came to the United States from Amsterdam. And one day I did this turn and I got a knee injury that I couldn't resolve. Also with acupuncture, I tried all of that. And then so I was introduced to Jin Shinjitsu, and the woman who became my teacher, Philomena Dooley, she did something with my toes. And I was able to go back to rehearsal the next day. And she told me some simple holds that I could do to maintain it. And so that was the end for me of my knee projects. And we call them projects. We turn problems into projects because you work with them and they're fun and they change very quickly.
Sure.
And then when I took a seminar with her, there was something about it, which is very much the philosophy of it, that really pulled me in. And I said, this is what I want to do the rest of my life. And so I had a complete career change as well.
And that became your new path.
It became my new path and passion. And really, this book is really my life's work. There's a lot of love and thought into it.
Yeah, and you could feel it, as you read it. You could feel the love and thought. And I have a question for you. So you're a dancer, right? You're on that path of performing and what have you. And you injure, you get introduced to the Jin Shin Jyutsu, and you just change paths that easily, that quickly?
I did. And as a matter of fact, I continued with classes, and my dance teacher, she had a neck project, and she came to me, and it helped her so much in 3 sessions that she started to send all the dancers to me. So that was the beginning of my practice. It was with dancers.
You know what's cool, Alexa? Like the show, right? Enlightenment of Change is all about change, and how you went from this performing kind of position or career to healing. That's quite a jump, leap of faith there, right?
Well, it's interesting because dance is an art, and so is the art of Jin Shin. And so I had some fabulous dance teachers, and I was able to transition so many of those philosophies into this work. And it is really, it's a creative process, and so is Jin Shin. So in that way, it's very similar, and we can talk a little bit more about that. Jin Shinjitsu it has a vast technique to it. So for me, it became a lifetime study, but it's also as simple as placing your hand and getting to know and help your own body. So in that way, it's an art. And when I treat people, when people come in with a project, I may treat one person who has migraine headache differently than the next person. And so it is a creative process.
Now, 2 things. Project. I'm loving that word project. I hate the word problem because problem has such a negative energy to it to begin with. So I love that little shift from problem to project because, and I believe we are all projects, right? We're all works in progress. So the project, very cool word. Did you choose that, or was that part of that Jin Shin philosophy?
It is part of the Jin Shin philosophy, okay. And that ties right into your program. We change so quickly. When you start to place your hand and the energy starts to move, your body changes very quickly. And so you can feel the results very quickly as well. So we're always changing, and it's never static.
Well, energy changes, right? If you have a stressful day, for instance, I go to a chiropractor once a month. It's just my protocol, keeps you healthy. I believe in maintenance, right? Instead of waiting till there's something wrong. But he laughs because my neck and my shoulders is totally where I harbor my stress of the day, probably because I do a lot of work on the computer. I train, I'm moving around, so that's where my energy, I think, kind of gets stuck sometimes, right? Does that make sense?
Yes, very much so. When you are stressed, and I'm asking you, is it more on your right side or on your left side? If you just place your hand for a minute, and you can feel it like right on top. Is it tighter on the right or on the left?
Right side.
So the right side of the body has to do with our lifestyle and very much today, and environment and diet and daily stresses. And the left side has to do more with older genetic projects or older trauma. So again, this tells you a lot about your own body. So for you as well, you need to unload and you need to exhale.
Yeah, it's true.
And that's for everybody, right?
I was going to laugh. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm laughing because don't we all have to exhale?
Well, that is part of the project, because sometimes people forget to breathe and we start to go more more like this, and we're not exhaling, and then the energy cannot flow freely in the body. So it all begins with breathing, really.
Yeah, and I think that it's funny, Alexis, because I think people breathe shallow and they hold their breath when they get nervous. And I know that whenever I'm in a stressful situation, I'll start doing my yoga breathing, right? Expands the stomach, then the chest, right? And then bring it up. And then when I exhale, exhale from the throat to the chest to the stomach, it immediately calms me down for sure. But that I think I'm also oxygenating my body so I can think more clearly in that stressful situation. So you don't say something that, perhaps later you would regret. So I use that deep breathing, or I call it yoga breathing. I don't know if it's deep breathing, but I do my yoga breathing a lot because I know that it calms you down immediately.
It does. And it's also, when you talk about the deep breathing, we go into the parasympathetic nervous system, and that's where healing takes place. So if you're in the sympathetic nervous system, the fight and flight, the fast breathing also has a purpose, but that's not where the healing takes place. And the beautiful thing is that it's available to all of us. If you look at the baby breathing when they're when they're sleeping, you just see the belly go up and down. It's just that because of our hurried lifestyle, we forget to breathe.
Yeah, we break. I think not break, but we create the damage in our body. It's a lot of it. I think is self. We don't know we're doing it. I think if we knew we were doing it, we wouldn't do it to ourselves. But it is lifestyle. We do. We live in a very busy world. You're in New York, right?
Yes, it's so busy.
It's always
have to unload all the time.
Sure. Now,
but it's really bringing awareness to our bodies so that we can take a moment during the day and exhale and let go. Like you're saying, it's really about self-care. That is very much what this book is about. It's important.
Can you give an example? So let's say I hold the stress clearly. My right side. I'm right-handed too, so that kind of makes sense. Can you give an example? Somebody's having a super stressful day, boss is yelling, deadlines are here, and they feel themselves, literally, I think we close in, right? The breathing becomes that shallow fight or flight. What can they do?
So they can place their left hand over their right shoulder. And if you just do it with me, because
yes, of course.
It's always nice to practice Jin Shin.
Yes, I love it.
No time that you can always do it. While waiting somewhere.
Sure.
And then if you make a mudra with your ring finger, so you place your thumb over your ring finger nail, the ring finger.
Yep.
Nail over the nail.
Okay.
And this helps the lungs. The ring finger helps the lungs. So you're opening the lungs, and with the oxygen, this one will release as well, the hand over the shoulder. And you will feel it change very quickly as you're holding it. So, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, so that's simple, right?
It is.
And you can just hold it for a couple of breaths, and you feel it release. You feel the oxygen go back into your body. And what you'll feel is you will feel a slight pulsation coming up in this. We call them safety energy locations. So this is number 11. There are 26 of them. Number 11. So you place your fingers, and then as you feel the pulsation, the energy starts to spiral to core and back out to surface. So it goes very, very deep. Like where massage, you work on the muscles. Here with the energy, it spirals all the way to core and back out. And that's why it's so effective as well. And so you just hold this for a few minutes. You can hold it for a few minutes or shorter, or you can hold it even for 20 minutes if you have time.
Now, what's interesting is as I'm doing this, right, you see I'm just sitting here, we're chatting, and it might be awkward if I'm sitting in the middle of a board meeting and I start doing this. They're like, what are you doing, right?
Well, but you can place your hand here.
Sure, that's right. And nobody has to see. Good.
No.
Good. Very good tip. So here's the thing. As I'm sitting here, though, Alexis, the position of it feels good. It feels, it just feels really good. And I could feel not that I was stressed, because I love doing the show, so this is my joy, but I could just kind of feel like, woo, like just calm. Yeah, this is lovely.
So sometimes people, they're very full here, and they say they have a hard time reaching over like this, so you can also place it on the same side.
Okay,
you see
this way. Yeah.
So right on right.
Yeah. No, that was...
Or go a little more in the front.
Yeah,
You're going to learn. Yeah.
I was going to say, this is comfortable. It's almost like a mini stretch. too, where I feel like I'm stretching my body out a little bit.
Yeah, so all the holds in the book you can modify to that is comfortable for you. And so I have a lot of symptom quickies. They are one hold steps in the back of the book. But then there's also flow patterns that are you can create a daily self-help routine with it. And all of my clients do. I teach them the main flow, the main center source, and then they start to practice the art. They start to see what feels good to them. And on different days, it may be different flow patterns because we have different needs.
Now, do your clients, you said you teach them and then they do the different flow and they start to get familiar with which flow they should do based on what their body is telling them. How long is the practice for, like, if I do it every day, is it an hour that I have to set aside?
Well, you don't have to, because you can also do it for a minute, like holding a finger. But personally, I practice the main center source. It will take me 20 minutes to do it. And it covers the chakras, what we know. A lot of people have heard of the chakras, those centers. Sure. The same energy locations. So I practice about 20 minutes in the morning. And then during the day, I sit down and I do a little bit more. So you can really decide what's good for you. A lot of my clients do practice for an hour just because they love it so much. Sure. And it makes them feel really good. And others practice it briefly or do a quick hold for symptom relief or just a quick hold.
So
people, just one more thing. People do it naturally anyway. You see them holding certain points, or the upper arm helps to clear the chest, helps the heart, helps the breast. So people do it to themselves all the time anyway. It's really an innate part of us. So that is part of the beauty again.
Yeah, it doesn't feel odd like that. I have to be honest. This did not feel odd at all. It was relaxing. It truly was relaxing for me. So that's just interesting. Now the book, I love how you go through the flow, and then in the back you have, I call it a cheat sheet. You have the quickies, so that you can go in and say, hey, what's my ailment? Let me do that position or whatever whatever the posture is. So the flow, though, I think is beautiful. This is another thing, Alexis, and again, you living in New York, you probably feel it more than I do in New Jersey, but we are go all day, every day, that this, I think, also helps with maybe quieting the mind. So people who are trying to meditate and you can't because you're firing on all cylinders all the time. Does your clients also find that they're able to meditate a little bit easier by doing this practice?
Well, yes, it's really becoming aware, and it really reaches the same point. It's the same achievement. What you achieve in meditation and what you achieve in this kind of work. It's a different way, and I find this very easy to accomplish. You can also combine it with meditation, and on my website I've just created a webinar with a mindfulness teacher from India while he does collaborative meditation and I'm going through the holds at the same time, and it's very powerful. The energy in the room changed so much so quickly, so they work very well together. And Jin Shinjitsu also comes from the ancient traditions like meditation, mindfulness, Ayurveda, yoga. They all come from the same tradition. So the foundation and the philosophy is the same.
It's very interesting to me because my clients are corporate clients, right? I deal with business owners, corporations. So I'm in a corporate environment, business environment all the time. And I giggle because I might say something innocently. Like yesterday, I was training and the clock said 11:11. So I didn't even realize I said it out loud. Sometimes it was a really nice group of folks that I was with. We were real comfortable. And I said, 11:11. I said, angels are taking a snapshot of your brain. Now I'm in a corporate environment. And so a couple of people said, oh, I see 11:11 a lot. Is that what that means? And then later on in the day, I said, it's 3:33. The angels are watching us. We're joking, but the response I get is, oh, I see 555 a lot, Con. So I said, you got to look up what that combination of numbers means. If you see it, there's a message in there. I giggle to myself because I do it innocently, but it flashes in my head. I saw 11:11, And I know that's it's a guide, right? Saying you're on the right path. What you're saying to this class, it's cool, man. You're good. You're on par today. And then I share that, and the response I get inevitably is amazing. Now, I've been in business 20 years. I have seen the transformation over that 20 years. I could never have taught like that 20 years ago. They would have been like, who is this chick? She's out of her mind. Now, I don't even think about it anymore. Like I said that without thinking in this corporate environment. People get it and they're responding. So I love that shift of the world. Are you finding that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Last week I spoke in a hospital in Pennsylvania, and there were about 35 physicians. And I started to talk, and I asked them, do you think I'm some kind of weirdo? And do you understand, when I say universal energy, is that okay? Or do you think I'm really nuts? And they said, no, it's fine. And they really understood it, and they were interested, because I think our world is going more towards that again. Maybe we were away for a while, but now that it's so fast, life is so fast, we need to get back to that. And people they are looking into things like this. Well, everybody's doing yoga and meditation and all these kind of things, mindfulness.
You see, a new yoga studio is opening in one of our corporate buildings locally. It's a lovely building. They just did renovate. It's beautiful. It's got a good vibe inside. Well, they're doing the yoga right in the main floor where all of the stores are on the side. I was like, are you kidding me? Brilliant. So they changed the whole energy of that building. I think is just kind of cool. So Alexis, tell us, what kind of diseases or different diseases does the Jin Shin actually help or can help?
It really can help anything, because once the energy is flowing correctly and uninterruptedly, free from blockages, the body can heal itself. I work a lot with digestive issues, blood pressure, heart, migraines, back projects. Unknown diseases, like people go to the doctor and they can't find anything, and because we listen to the pulse, we can find out what is the cause, what's going on, and then after they will feel better. Sometimes the doctors have to run all of the tests. They test everything because they can't find anything. But with the Jin Shin, and you bring the body back up to speed, then the person feels better.
When you do the projects, right, and you work with the patient, do they ever go back to the doctor to see if you can diagnose what was wrong, or it's not even worth doing that?
No, because when you work with energy, sometimes it doesn't even show up on the test yet, because it's not manifest in the body yet. They're really working with pure energy, and then the body follows. The blood, the muscles, the skeletal, the organs, the actual organs, they follow. So, no, they don't have to go back. Once it's gone, then, it's gone.
It's interesting because the body, it truly is a miraculous machine, right? We really do. Our body does know how to heal it. Sometimes it just needs, and I love the expression that you have in your one sheet and stuff, your PR material, that the fingers, and I used it in my intro, that the fingers act as a jumper cable. So I just think that's so cool. Yeah. So Yes,
there's nothing to do. You just apply your hands and the energy starts to move. And we were just talking about Wi-Fi for today's kids, because I'm reaching out to a lot of younger people as well. Sure. It's like Wi-Fi. You connect and everything is available. It's our connection to really universal energy, which is kind of the same for Wi-Fi. Once you connect, you can find out everything from the planets, the stars, to back locally. So it's that kind of connection. We're working with universal energy, and we all have this possibility to do this. When you place the hands and the energy starts to move, we tap into this light, this universal energy.
It's so cool. This stuff, right? We said it before. It's been around thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and we're finally, especially I think in the United States, we're finally getting back to all of the practices that have worked before. It doesn't change, right? And it's proven. So it's really a very cool. This whole topic is very cool. Now, people are listening and they're thinking, oh no, I have this ailment that won't work for me. I've been going to doctors for 20 years and this is not for me. Who is it for?
It is for everybody. If you have a body, Jin Shin is for you. I mean, trust me, I was a skeptic myself, and sometimes I'm still skeptical and the transformation I see in front of me is amazing. I mean, you see how excited I am about it. But even my kids from college, they will call me, Mom, what do you do for this? What do you do for that? Or for emergencies, it works very, very well. It works for everybody. I mean, this is an innate part of us. It's just a system that Marai developed for us. But placing our hands, anybody can do it, and it's going to work. So what I would say is give it a shot, go for it, and see if it works for you.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, the book, we're right before Christmas or right before the holidays, depending on what you celebrate. So the book is... it could be a nice gift for someone who, first of all, anybody who's into the energy healing and the concept of this, universal energy and really self-healing. And I believe we can heal anything within our body. We have the power. I don't think we always know how to do it. So to me, your book is a how-to remain healthy and strong. And when things happen, because things do happen, like your injury when you were dancing, it happens, right? Yeah. You fall off the curb and you twist your ankle. So things happen. But I just think it's like a how-to book for, what do they have? The website, MD website? Like WebMD, that's what it's called.
Oh, yeah.
This to me is better than WebMD because you look up, you go to your little cheat sheet in the back and,
what do you do for flu? What do you do for a cough?
Yeah.
What do you do for a headache? What do you do for digestion? And you can have a quick way to look it up and place your hands on your body. It's free and you can do it at any time.
Exactly. So
even when you're sitting waiting at the doctor's office, in the meanwhile, you can give yourself a little flow.
I love it. And again, with the holiday, it's such a wonderful gift. So I have one more. We have a couple of minutes. So can you give us some, just to show people truly how easy. So before we did this, which was cool, that was awesome. That's easy peasy, guys, right? Can you give us another easy, maybe like a de-stressor, even if I have to go to the ladies' room to do it? Is there something that you can show us here? If not, that's okay. But just something simple, maybe.
Well, the simplest thing is to use the fingers, holding the fingers, and harmonizing the entire body by holding the fingers. So when you hold your thumb, you will help to harmonize the emotion of worry. And worry can cause insomnia, right? And if you think about it, the baby often, they suck their thumbs. Yes. So they're helping their digestion and they're helping to self-soothe. And then the index finger helps to harmonize anxiety and fear. And it helps backaches and headaches and depression. So that's a very nice one to hold too. Then this one, guess what this one helps?
What does it help?
Attitude.
Attitude.
Yes. Which attitude?
I love it.
Come on, Connie.
What attitude? Like where I'm angry and I want to say up yours? Anger. I was to say up yours?
Yes. Yes. I was showing this to this kid in the bookstore at Barnes & Noble, and he's like, so are you telling me that I can hold my finger instead of sticking it up when I'm angry?
I love it.
That's how you use it.
That's right.
So the middle finger also...
So you're still using the middle finger.
Yes, exactly. So this helps to harmonize anger. Okay. It helps the eyes. It helps deep fatigue and the liver energy. So it helps a lot of things. And then this one, the ring finger, helps sadness and grief. And it helps the lungs. And then the little finger helps the trying too hard or efforting in life. And that helps the heart and small intestine. Now, people ask me, how do you hold it? So you just hold it gently. And you can hold it for a couple of minutes or wait till you feel a pulsation come up in the thumb. We hold our fingers anyway, so this really just brings awareness. And you can do the right or the left side.
Does it matter right or left? Same effect?
Well, yes, the right side again has to do with the lifestyle, and the left side has to do with older stuff. But it can also be if you're right-handed, it may be comfortable to use your right hand. So you can play around with that, and for some days, holding your right fingers may be more comfortable. So go wherever it feels comfortable for you.
Because it's intuitive. Now, I just want you to explain one more thing before we end. You said you're going to feel a pulse. Just describe it so that people understand what that pulse feels like.
So when you hold it gently, you will feel slight pulsation coming from the finger. And that is when the energy starts to move and spiral. And at first the pulsation might be very slight or very loud. And you want it in the end to be a nice, harmonious, gentle, silky feeling like pulse. And if you don't feel it in the beginning, then that's okay because it's still moving. But as you practice more and more, you will definitely feel it. The pulsation is always there. And that is also to see what is our relationship with this universal energy. Because you're bringing back in rhythm with the universal energy.
This whole conversation is remarkable, Alexis. It's brilliant. I'm so excited that you came on, to share with my listeners, because I always like to bring a resource that is cost effective and that it can be done anytime, anywhere. Like you said, if you're at the doctor's office, you have a severe cold, go to the cheat sheet in the back and figure it out. And I also love how you said your kids in college, because it's a cesspool in college. So they're surrounded they're surrounded by icky stuff. So this is just a really, it's a nice
Sometimes
way.
You can use it in emergency as well. You can use it in emergency. My son's friend collapsed, and he was able to bring him back by holding the back of his head.
You're kidding.
And he called me, what do I do? So I gave him a simple hold, and a few minutes later I got a text, I did it, and the guy was unconscious, the friend. So you can really use it in emergencies as well, which is great and kind of can be fun to help people. You can help others with this too, or your pets. You can practice it on your pet or on your kid, your husband.
The kids and husband. I like that. We have like a little magic in our fingers. I love it, Alexis.
Right.
So guys, I hope that you are intrigued. I really hope that you all go out, buy the book for someone you love, or perhaps buy the book for yourself. It's okay to wrap a present, put it under the tree, to me, from me. I love that. Yes. So go out and buy the book. Go ahead.
I also offer a lot of webinars for people who are interested. You'll give the website, right?
That's what I was going to do now. So yes, anybody who's interested, I'm going to give you the website. Alexis, a lot of people commute with us, so they're listening, and then they could go back later and watch the different, positionings that we just did, so that they could go back and practice themselves. The website is Jin Shin Institute.com. So JINSHIN Institute.com. Also, you can follow on Jin Shin, I don't know why I can't say that, Institute's Facebook page. You post a lot of cool things on that too, right, Alexis?
Yeah, we post a lot, and I do a lot of teachings and classes and practice circles that we go live, and I do body reading. So yes, and interviews. I do a lot there.
It's
which
awesome.
Is fun.
And you said on the website there's the meditation and the Jin Shin posturing. That's available also?
Yeah. Yes, we just recorded it, so right now we're editing, and it will be on there before Christmas for sure. And that's a really beautiful class. It's a really nice teacher. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
And myself.
I love it, and thank you for sharing with me and my listeners today. I'm thrilled, but thank you for sharing this beautiful gift that you've educated yourself on it, but you're out there educating the kids, which I really like, because I think the younger generation, if we can help them become more aware of the energy and stuff, we could get rid of some of the addiction to different kinds of drugs and stuff like that. That would be an awesome side effect, right? Thank you for being on, and I do wish you certainly a happy holiday. Guys, my partner and I still giving away our free communication style assessment. Just go to wisdomdecoded.com, and right on the landing page, you take the assessment. It takes 5-10 minutes, and you get your own report giving you a little bit of insight as to how you communicate or how people see you through the way you communicate. It's really a brilliant tool. It's free. Take advantage. Again, go to jinshinjitsu.com. I promise I will post it on the Enlightenment of Change Web Talk Radio website, so you guys can click and find it. Alexis, thank you for being just such a lovely guest and sharing all of the wonderful information. I really do appreciate it, and I enjoyed this. This was such a nice education for me as well.
Thank you, Connie, and to all your listeners.
Yes, a real pleasure, Alexis.
Enjoy.
Thank you. And I hope you guys will join me weekly as we question, build, and discover together that this thing we call change in our life is truly possible. And I hope yet again, Alexis is a resource, the Jin Shin Jyutsu. I hope that you embrace it and take advantage. It's such a nice way for us to heal ourselves or to heal others that we love. So thank you again. Thank you for tuning in. You've been listening to Enlightenment of Change with me, your host, Connie Whitman, on webtalkradio.net. I wish you all an inspired and now, of course, healthy week. Thanks, everybody.